Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Today we're going to talk about Module 4, which is survival. We're going to talk about the power of President Ferdinand Marcos during the martial law, and we're going to talk about a story that is written by Sandra Nicole Roldan, which is called The Safe House.
So what powers did President Marcos have at that time period? So according to Catherina Francisco, Marcos was able to bring the power of the government under his rule. He was the leader of the country and operated the entire government under his power. He ordered the armed forces to prevent or suppress any act of rebellion, and curfew hours were enforced, group assemblies were banned, and privately owned media facilities were shut down.
The events of The Safe House by Sandra Nicole Roldan took place during the period of President Ferdinand Marcos. The entire story was from a point of view of a 5-year-old girl. So here is a short summary of the story. The story opens with what could be described as a housing project that caters to the middle-class members of society. Facilities were present such as tennis courts and a swimming pool, among others. The little girl's family stays in the same project, but from the looks of it, they were living like everyone else in the community. Everything was fine and nothing could go wrong. But at night, when everyone's asleep, the father would always leave the lights on beside the window. Maybe it is to welcome the guests who would frequently visit the house. And when the father is asked about the strange visitors, the father would introduce them as their uncles and aunties. This continued on for years, and catering to these seemingly insensitive relatives became a normal part of the family's practice. They would stay up all night and hold meetings where mentions of soldiers, dead bodies, and escaping through the tall grass is the best way. This is routinely heard. One day, the kids would come home to see these relatives gathered in front of the television watching the news or program with a revolutionary theme. At times, she would be surprised at their reactions when they see the president's face on the monitor. They would yell profanities at the president, maybe because they were against what's happening at that time.
A year passed, 1983, and more people are coming with children's birthday as masks for their meetings. Dusty beer bottles that are never opened were served. The relatives do not drink at all. It's all just a game of pretending. A laughing game through the eyes of the little girl. Then there's the mother, not enjoying the game at all, crying as the laughter of the husbands continues. Underground, revolution, taxes, and bills, words that does not make any sense to the little girl. The mother left her for good. The siblings would just spend their days playing outside as their house is occupied with more and more papers, plus the smokes that most probably from the cigarettes of the relatives. Another year had passed, the father got arrested. Everyone was quiet witnessing the arrest, but after the soldiers left, murmurings went louder. The siblings lived with their grandparents. A story about lovebirds was also mentioned that may had an underlying meaning of soldiers that has been taking over since long ago. The little girl would come visit her father in his new house. Of course, that means prison cell, and sleep there during the weekends. She had dreams, bad dreams, scary images of what's supposed to be now a dangerous place. A scary place. To make things better, she paints it pink, blue, and yellow. Such lovely colors through the eyes of a girl. Then have the sun and the moon and the stars on the floor to provide light to such a dark world. A world where she is left alone. Soon after, when she comes of age, she will be still living in the same old house, the safe house, with its new door, and a familiar stranger will come knocking looking for his own gone father. She knows the stranger needs help, but she will still decide to close the door and push the bolts firmly into place. The safe house was actually not safe. Years passed and the house has been catering defectors, relatives that were not actually relatives. Now she knows better. Though she knows she can help, but she chose to close her doors so that what happens before she will not repeat itself. She will keep her house safe.